Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Exit the Game Family, 2 Escape Adventures with the Exit Heroes, The Mystery at Meanstone Manor, and The Caper at Candy Castle. Exit the Game Family, everything I said over up at the top, is published by Cosmos. Plays 2 to 4 players, ages 8 plus, around 45 to 75 minutes per adventure. There's 2 in the box, and it's designed by Inka, Marcus, and Emily Brand. Now, in this game, you are trying to basically solve these missions, these mysteries that take place at a manor and the Candy Castle. And you're going to be doing that by getting some clues, and you're going to be using different things that come in the game, maybe the box, maybe other types of items, to get a 3-number code to point you to the next part of the adventure. Okay? Once you get all the way to the end, you have solved it and you win. There are some cheats, some help books if you need help, if you get stuck on something, but that's the crux of the game. Now, if you want to see how that works, let's go out of the table and check it out. All right, so here is Exit the Game Family, The Caper at Candy Castle, set up for one of the adventure cards. I'm not going to go into super ton of detail here. I'm not going to spoil a lot of things, but I just want you to kind of see what's going on here. So there is going to be one of these spoiled, because in order to show you what's going on in here, I have to spoil one-ish. So I am going to spoil one. I'm not telling you which one it is. You can kind of tell from the colors, so this may be the first one in the game. But either way, I am going to spoil it. If you don't want to see this, then you can skip it, and we'll talk about the rest of the view. But I'm not going to show you anything from the mystery at Meanstone Manor, and I'm not going to show you anything else, okay? So there's going to be a stack of riddle cards, which you can see I have some here. There's going to be a decoder, like circle here, and then you're going to have these adventure cards, which are going to tell you where you're going. They're going to have codes at the top, which are going to be related to that spinner thing over there. And then you're going to have clue cards. When it tells you to get going, you can read your cards, and it'll tell you to get some clues. In this case, it's telling me to get riddle cards A and B. If you're stuck, there is a book with some extra things that will help you. All right? So this one thing, what we're trying to do, we're going to read this card, and we're going to try to solve the puzzle to get a 3-number code. All right? So use the gummy worm oracles to find the 3 animals that can help you. The gummy worms seem to have fallen apart. Fit them together into 3 animals. All right, so we're trying to find a code. Code from top to bottom. So there's a bat, there's whatever that is, a bunny, a dog, a cat, a butterfly, and a mouse. All right? So we're going to try to find these codes. So I'm going to look at these gummy worms. Let's see if I can see any information from the shapes. Because some of them will be, you can probably dismiss some of them just by the shape. So if you look at the bat, there's nothing here that looks like bat wings. All right, so we're probably not going to do that. The bunny, there isn't like a squiggly tail for the bunny, so we're not even going to try that one. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to try this one. So there is that piece. And we're going to use this piece right here. Okay. Then we need a long piece, which is like, I guess it's not super long, but this one. I'm going to piece together. The colors of the gummy worms do actually fit together here. And then we're going to have a roundabout thing, which will look like this. All right, so I think it's an owl. So there's the owl. So we know one of the codes is 3. All right? So 3, we need to remember that. I'm going to try to point to it. I'm going to use these little paws here. Another spoiler, just to pretend like you don't see this. We're going to point to the 3. Let's try the dog. All right, let's try the dog. So we need this, because this is definitely a piece right there. And then we're going to need the head of the dog, which I think is this right here. Kind of looks like this. Or Yeah, like this. So we'll use the head of the dog right there. And then we need a little swoop-de-swoop. And I think that's this one right here. Right there. And we have the dog. So now we have 5. I'll mark it with this. So we have 3 and 5. Now we need the last one. And let's look at, I'm going to try, I don't think the butterflies, I'm going to try the mouse. Let's try the mouse. So we're going to do, this looks like the mouse head here and the leg. Then we're going to do, let's see, we need a swirly gig. Let's try, so hard to see these. Let's try this one. I think this one goes here. And then we need this one, maybe. All right, there you go. There's a mouse. So we have a code. We have numbers 3, 5, and 1. And if you look at this card here, code is from top to bottom. So the way this thing works here, we're using the purple cards. You can see the purple thing up at the top. So starting from top to bottom, we're going to put a 3 on the wheel, a 5, and then a 1. And it's going to give us a code. And right now our code is golden circle, silver triangle, bronze moon. It's going to point to this card right here. We would flip it and it would say, cool, you've identified the 3 helpful animals. And I'm not going to go into any more of that for you. So that's how the game's going to kind of work. There's going to be a bunch of different codes. You're going to use different parts of the game. You may use the box. You may use this. There's going to be maybe some other items that I'm not going to show you, that you're trying to get through all these riddle cards to basically figure out what happened at Candy Castle. All right, so that is a quick overview of how you play the Exit the Game Family Escape Adventures with the Caper at the Candy Castle. Let's go up to the top and talk about what we think about it. All right, so no components in this one because that would be even more of a spoiler than I already did. You saw enough in the gameplay overview to kind of see what's in the game. It's a lot of like it's mostly cards, the box, and then maybe some other bits and bobs or sundries or whatever to help you on the journey and the mission. Okay, so that's kind of what the components would be. So I'm not going to show you any of that, but I'm going to talk about the game. Now, I've only played the Unlock series of games. I've never played an Exit. I know Katie played one, I believe, one time, but I had not ever played one. So this was sent to us, and it was adorable. I mean, the little animals are adorable. I really love the house. The Candy Castle is fantastic. This is a creepy little manor. It looked awesome. And the fact there were 2 in there made me want to try it more because I could play it twice instead of once, which is cool. Because, first thing I want to talk about is this is not a replayable game. In this game, there are going to be things that get ripped up. You may cut some things. You may remove some stickers. Whole bunch of things that are going to happen that will make this game not be able to be used again. So up at the top, I just want to say that. Keep that in mind. Once you play through these, you're not going to be playing through them again. Okay? Now, is this worth it if you're buying the game to play once? Well, twice, because there's 2 games. Now, this is the first time I've ever played it. This is the family version, so it's more, it's an easier version. There's a difficulty thing on the back usually, maybe not with this one. There's usually a difficulty in the back. There's not on this one. So this is a pretty simple box. All these we figured out, me and my daughter, without using any of the clues. So you may have to, some of them are a little harder than others, but none of them are impossible, like I've heard that some of the other ones are. So we played through both of these, and it took us about an hour both times. So we had 2 hours of fun in this box of games. I got it for free, so I can't really talk about the price. But, you know, if you're looking at $25 for this, $20, $30, $15 a game, that's the same price of a movie. And you get to enjoy time with your family. So I don't think it's a bad deal. So that I'm getting that out of the way. Now, what do I think about the game? I think this is really entertaining. I've never been to an escape room. I've only played the Unlock, like I said earlier, and I think this is a ton of fun. You basically you start out with a card. It's going to give you, hey, get these 2 riddle cards. And then from these riddle cards, you have to figure out what you need to do to get these 3 numbers. Some of them are easy. Some of them are more obvious than others. Some of them are kind of tricky. Some of them you're like, I don't really know what's going on here. And you have to like really kind of think about it. Maybe you have to turn cards the other way. Everything you need to know is here. You have it available. Everything you need to know is here. Just how do you use it? What is it trying to tell you? What is it pointing to? And I think it's a ton of fun. There's not really a rule book. There is some rules, but it's mostly how to set up the game, like getting it out of the box and like what stuff means, how the little like circle decoder works, all that kind of stuff. But you're going to be learning the game as you play because everything is, there's 2 decks of cards kind of. Each game is like a deck of cards and maybe some other things. But you're going to just play through the cards. And then when you get to the end of the cards, you're going to solve the mystery. And I think it's a ton of fun. Not hard, but I had a great time with my daughter. Some of the things were silly. We had a good time. We laughed. We, like you saw in the overview, we made gummy worms. Who doesn't love gummy worms? I mean, come on. So, all that being said, I enjoy this quite a bit. I'm going to hunt down some more of these family ones because this is my speed. I'm not smart enough for those the harder ones, the bigger ones. So I'll stick with these. I know there's a ton of them. I think they're just one. There's one of them, like single boxes. But I'm going to hunt some more down and play them because it is a good time. So I'm going to give this a BGM Accept the Seal. This is going to get a 7 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.5 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give the games that we enjoy, and that's what we're going to do. So that is Exit Family, the Mystery and the Candy Adventures from Cosmos. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.